You want the leopard showing? A little leopard never hurt anybody.
Gosh. This is what this podcast is going to be like already.
What's up?
All right. We in the frame? I think it's good enough. Whatever.
Your laptop's kind of big, but you're in it.
So I guess to start, it'd be like, some people have seen what we've been doing with the homelessness. Maybe some have not. But to answer the big question, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? I think that's what today's conversation is really about.
Okay. I think it's a good place to start.
All right. So this is what are we naming this? Point of Connection?
This is Points of Connection, episode 1.
Points of Connection, episode 1. Let's get to it.
Let me play that sick song you just made.
So since this is episode 1, I guess it's only right that we introduce ourselves. I am Lorenzo. A lot of people call me Zoe, just for short. And I'm from Oakland, California.
And I'm Esperanza, also known as SB to some people. I'm born and raised in San Francisco and very proud of it. I'll say it many times, most likely.
So let's just get straight into it. What are we doing? Why are we talking to homeless people? And what's the point? All the way to the beginning.
Lorenzo and I were coworkers. We worked in the financial district downtown San Francisco. Of course, you see a lot of homeless people on your way to work, on BART, during lunch, on your way back to BART, every time of the day. And Lorenzo was very motivated and inspired to start making just very simple sandwiches and handing them out. He had, I think, a natural desire to just break bread with homeless people who are often ignored and marginalized. And that's, I think, just a very powerful mission that was always inherent to him. And it's pretty infectious. And I just jumped in however I could, which at first I believed that the only way I could help was to either give him some money for the sandwiches or help make the sandwiches in the office because I was too busy with work or because I didn't feel like I was maybe the right person to hand out the sandwiches with him, go out there, talk with people face to face. But what I realized is that I just wasn't comfortable doing that. And I don't think that's so unreasonable because
not at all.
Now a year and a half into it, I think. Maybe a year.
Yeah.
Maybe a year. I don't think it's been a year and a half. It's about a year. 2019, we did this consistently in 2019. So about a year later, I've learned that you are vulnerable when you walk up to a stranger. And you don't always know what kind of day they've had. And that's true of any stranger, but especially with people that are visibly homeless. You don't know what kind of mental health, what state their mental health is on that day, if they have any chronic mental health challenges, if they have addictions, if they're in an addictive state on that day, or if they're in a pretty clear, level-headed state on that day. So I guess my fear wasn't ungrounded, but I'm glad that I overcame it and started putting myself out there because the reality of homelessness is that homeless people are extremely vulnerable, like much more vulnerable than you and I could ever be, knowing that we have a home to go home to every night and we have food and we have paychecks and we have all this stability that creates a lot of comfort.
Yeah. And to piggyback on that, what you said, one of the biggest reasons why I started TTL and why I started documenting my encounters with these people and sharing their stories was for my viewers on social media and YouTube or wherever I was posting, for my viewers, for them to get a deeper appreciation for life and whatever goes into that. Because one of the things that I saw amongst my friends is that people are stressing about things that they don't really need to be stressing about. And I think the solution to that is just being grateful for everything, all the little things. Like Esperanza said, being thankful that you woke up, being thankful that you have a roof over your head, being thankful that you have meals throughout the day. Be thankful that you have money to pay for a lot of things, and I think that a lot of people don't, not that they take it for granted, but we assume that those things are givens. And going out and talking to these people and putting it out there on social media and on the internet kind of opens these people that take things for granted. It opens their eyes a little bit to see, what, things could be worse. And my goal is to hopefully change their mindset, right, so that they're not stressing about these work or whatever it is. Be thankful for everything that you have, and changing that mindset hopefully will bring forth, healthier mental states.
Yeah. And to continue on that concept, I said I was born and raised in San Francisco. Okay, that's the second time I said it, so let's keep count. You were also born and raised in Oakland, right? The Bay Area is not the easiest place for really anyone to live, but especially in the last 10 years since the recession of 2009, and we're now in the middle of a huge tech boom. The disparity in incomes has become so severe that I remember working with Lorenzo, and we would complain, or I would complain, like, we do all this work, we don't get paid, or we get paid so little, or relative to all, I guess, disclaimer, we don't work in tech. We're both engineers, so we make good money, but we're not making an easy six figures without busting our butts. And every dollar we earn, we work for, right? Like, there's long hours involved in that. We're consultants, so we're at the will of our clients and at the will of the industry. But as stressful as that can seem, Lorenzo's message of gratitude and positivity has become a major theme of our work with TTL, because as hard as it is with us having our long work hours and maybe not making as much money as we think we deserve to make, or making enough money to buy a house one day, it all seems so bleak. We do make money. We get a paycheck every 2 weeks. The industry that we work in is very busy, so we're not concerned about job security. If anything, it's very easy for us to jump around to firms if we chose to do that, and we'd be in very high demand right now. So I think I needed that reality check, because it's very easy to get caught up comparing yourself to things that don't matter. It really doesn't matter. People that are wealthy, people that are middle income, people that are low income, everyone works hard, and everyone feels that there's someone else that has more than they do, right? And that's just the toxic mindset that if you don't work hard to remove that kind of perspective from yourself, it's just not very productive, and it doesn't really do anything for you or anyone around you, right? You're much better off focusing on the things that you can control, which for us, I think we found is a lot. Like, this effort of doing TTL has given us so much, I don't want to say spiritual power, but just the energy that we've gained from showing up every Tuesday, creating a community with homeless people that were once strangers, homeless people that maybe we were uncomfortable talking to at some point. Now we go out there, we know each other on first name basis, we know what's happening in their lives, like we know who likes turkey and who likes soda, who wants cookies, who wants cupcakes. It's so simple, but it gives new value to my paycheck, right? Like, my paycheck doesn't just do things for me now. It doesn't just do things for my family and even for my friends. It has, like, I need my paycheck so I can do TTL. Yeah. And that's just the strength that I never expected to find from this work.
Yeah. And I believe in the more you give, the more you'll receive.
Yeah.
Because
karma, right?
Not necessarily karma. I mean, the thing about karma is, I won't get into that.
Okay.
But I think that kind of. It's almost like everything
You
happens
sow
for
what
a
you
reason.
reap. You sow what you reap, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You put out positivity, you're gonna get
I
positivity.
think we throw out all these terms when really it's just
Idioms and stuff.
it's just life. You know, it's really hard to explain. It's like if I'm doing good in the community, obviously I'm gonna feel good about it just because biologically that's what happens. There's chemicals in our body that are released and it makes us feel good about
that
certain
human
things.
connection just lifts you up. Any kind of human connection.
But then also those human connection, they return something in us. It's a symbiotic relationship between us and whoever we're developing a relationship with. So it's not as simple as karma. It's
Right.
really,
and it's not just charity either, right? Like we're getting as much, if not more, than what we're putting into this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be getting anything if we weren't doing anything.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to say is if we give, we're receiving a lot more.
Yes. Okay. So yes, that's not karma at all. And I think that's a really great way to describe TTL is that, you know, we put, and not just us, we've had some great supporters already that have given us donations to help us do what we do. But at the beginning, and some days it was like, you know, we had to put in $50 for a couple sandwiches or some fried chicken or whatever the lunches that we wanted to share and eat with our new friends. And it's like some days, I think for a lot of us, like $40, $70, like, I don't know. For me, it's like, oh shoot, I probably shouldn't be spending that.
Yeah.
But what you get back is so much more than that $70.
But we did create a GoFundMe page back in August, I believe. We tried to raise $3,000 for the whole year. We calculated maybe about $60 to $70 a week on food, like maybe 10. I think we were saying like maybe like $7 per meal per person.
Mm-hmm.
So we do make money, but if we're gonna do this consistently, we obviously needed to raise some funds. So we did make a GoFundMe, and we reached, I think, to date now, it's been 6 months. To date, I think we made about $1,700, and our goal for the year was $3,000.
And I will clarify one thing: when Lorenzo said we make money, he means he and I as individuals make money. Not that TTL or Points of Connection makes any money.
No,
we do not make.
I'm just talking about in our careers. Like we make money, but we can't use our personal money for all these funds.
Yeah. No, it's
But TTL,
and no one should have to. I mean, that's a good point to make. We would love for supporters to continue to support us through whatever means they can, whether if that's coming out with us, or if that's through financial donations. But the power of TTL is that it doesn't even need to involve food.
It doesn't.
It's like the most powerful thing is not that we bring fried chicken some days, or sandwiches, or sodas, or warm food. It's much appreciated on certain days for some individuals that are really hungry, or they're really cold, or whatever it is that the food does for them. They absolutely appreciate it. But the lasting power is that human connection and restoring a little bit of humanity that some of these homeless people have lost in their trials and tribulations of being homeless. And that's, there's no value on that, right? Like, that's not money.
So we were talking about like the three main reasons why we started TTL. And just to clear it up in case the message wasn't clear from the beginning, but the first thing was the homeless, bringing awareness to the homelessness problem and being a friend or building relationships with these homeless people so they don't feel alone, because there's a lot of times when people walk past them, they're invisible in most cases. So the priority was to give back to the homeless. The second thing, which I mentioned about social media, was to give our viewers a deeper sense of appreciation and help build that mental stability on that more surface level of what a mental health issue is, the ones that we generally all have. And then the third thing was for us, just personally, like we said, the time that we're getting so much back in return. And I think that has to be addressed, because I can't sit up here and act like I'm not doing it for personal reasons as well, or at least that I'm not gaining anything from it. So those are the three main things. TTL, which I don't know if we mentioned it, stands for Tuesday Talks and Lunch, because we started going every Tuesday, and then talk to the homeless people and have lunch with them. Just again, TTL does not make any money.
I think that's clear.
You know, so.
Yeah, we whatever money we have, whether it's our own money or from people supporting our efforts, just goes to buy food. And you know, some days it buys food for us. Sure, why not? We're having lunch with them. It's not about charity. I don't know why we're on this topic. We can stop.
I never got lunch out of TTL money.
Oh, I've had lunch. I've had like fried chicken with them.
Oh.
Sure. You've never had any food?
No, I don't think so.
Well, the thing is that we're there on our lunch break. And like, there've definitely been days when I'm hella busy.
There's usually no
like,
leftovers though.
Well, yeah, okay. So
she be eating. I don't be.
I mean, I think we can talk about this. So, first of all,
not that it's a bad thing.
Right. If I wanted to eat, what would be so wrong about that?
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I don't. But
no, there've definitely been days where I fit in TTL, like, you know, booked right up until 12 and have something to go to right at 1. And I'm happy to give up my, you know, my personal time for lunch to come out there and hang out with people that have become friends. But I still have to eat. Yeah. And it feels nice to eat with them. Like, it's not like a us versus them thing. It's like we're all one at that point. Right,
like,
exactly.
We're all just hanging out.
Yeah, it normalizes the interaction. Yeah. And I think, you know, I've never been homeless. And I really never had a difficult struggle like that in any way in my life. But I think there's a lot of pride with feeling that you're receiving charity. I think not a lot, but there are enough people that we've offered food to that, you know, you feel their ego a little bit, and they might be hungry, but they don't want to take food from us, or they see that other people are really wanting the food, and even though they're homeless, even though they're hungry, they'll say, no, I'm fine, it's all good. Yeah. And that's respectable and relatable. But if we're there sitting and eating with whoever has said that they want the food, it takes some of that. Is it shame? Maybe it could be some shame, or it makes it easier on the ego. Mm-hmm. It's like, this isn't about just you being homeless and being hungry. Of course it's about that. But that's not all it is. I'm not just here to give you food. I'm here to sit with you. I'm here to have a meal with you and talk with you the way I might go out to lunch with a friend or a coworker, right?
And that's what they've been. Yeah. That's what we've been trying to do, is build relationships, and they've become our friends. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else about TTL? The sandwiches? I think that was a pretty good start. Yeah. I think that we kind of encaptured what TTL is, in that moving forward, whenever they see us or we reference it, that they kind of get the general idea of what we're doing. Yeah. So cool. Did we hit 20? We hit 20. It's still recording, so that's pretty good. I think it goes to 25. I started looking up homelessness, just like homelessness in the U.S., homelessness in America. Give us a fact. The fact of the day. Oh, it's not cool. But so homelessness is defined as it's the condition of people lacking a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence, meaning you don't have anywhere to sleep at night. That's what homelessness means. And that's a kind of interesting thing to think about, right? Because generally speaking, I mean, fixed. I guess the key word is fixed. People can find somewhere to sleep, but if you're sleeping in front of a doorway and you know that you can't sleep there every night, then you're homeless. There's also just a lot of history on homelessness here that we can... Yeah, we'll break that down. We'll chat about our thoughts. I think that's one thing about TTL, points of connection. We can talk about points of connection real quick. So TTL is it a project? It's not a project. It's just something that we just do because we want to do it. Right. It's not a hobby. Project. What is it? What is it? It's nothing. It's just our lives. Honestly, this is just us being us. Like, there's nothing more to it. It's just us being us. We wanted to document it and just share the positivity. Yeah, and we just had to give it a name because why not? Yeah, because you gotta so that you can refer. Yeah, you can refer this part of our lives to something. So TTL is the beginning of Points of Connection. We have a lot of great things to share about TTL. Like I said, we've been doing this for a year. We're still doing it. There's a lot of changes happening
within our homeless friends and like the community that we've created with them. And we'll just keep giving you some background, some updates on that. But moving forward and moving past TTL, Points of Connection is really about just creating a shared consciousness that's rooted in healing and community building and trust. But we're not a news organization. Like, we're not necessarily experts on some of the topics that we're talking about. We're really just trying to like raise your consciousness and maybe give you something good to take home.
Yeah.
So that's the who we are and where we're going.
Yeah, just trying to spread positivity and love and, trying to get this ball rolling.
That's it.
So
I like that.
You good? Any other last remarks or anything?
I mean, you just have to produce our little sound clip, our little music intro, outro.
All right, this is our first podcast, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna knock all this stuff out. We're gonna turn this into something big, hopefully. So I think that's it for our first episode.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys got a better understanding of what we're doing, and if you guys want to contribute in any way, hit us up. I'll put some of our information in the link or whatever, however this thing works, but I'll make it so that you guys can find us and contact us. But
yes.
All right, so episode 1 done. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Have a good day, night, all those things.
Bye.
Bye. And then you get up and turn it off.
Is that what they do? They cover it?
They have like the...